but don't.
Good evening, Pittsburgh sports fans. Welcome to the Pittsburgh Sports Desk. We are back. We skipped last week. Ed was in France, and I was getting prodded with a colonoscopy and an endoscopy. Fun stuff. That's what happens when you turn.
I was
40.
fine.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you turn 45. But we're back this week, folks. A lot to talk about. Obviously, Steelers reported today the training camp start the first practice tomorrow. Going to be a hot one too. I just texted our buddy Ray Fittipaldo earlier tonight. I said, "Hey, stay cool and hydrated." He goes, "Yeah, it's going to be a hot one tomorrow." So, but yeah, so we're going to get him back on the show too as well. But a lot to talk about. Get into camp stuff. We're going to focus as we were last time we had talked. We focused on positions. We talked offensive line. We're going to get into tight ends tonight. Other stuff we want to get into. I know some Steeler news. Obviously, T.J. Watt signing. Want to get your guys' take on that. Bunch of other stuff. Pirates, yeah, unbelievable that they swept.
Detroit.
Detroit, just unbelievable. And then you lose 3 in a row. You get your ass handed to you by the White Sox. Unbelievable. I don't even know. I don't even know how to cover this team anymore. It's I don't even know. But I'll get into that. Trade deadline stuff. It's approaching July 31st. That is what? That is, according to my calendar, next Thursday. So, yeah, it's coming by.
It's also the first football game of the season next Thursday.
Yeah, we're going to have a Hall of Fame game next Thursday.
Yep. It's cool.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit of that. I want to touch on the Penguins a little bit. I know they got some new additions there. And then Pitt. I wanted to talk a little Pitt basketball too, guys. The rivalry renewed with Villanova. So we'll get into that a little bit. And then I had some thoughts on Pitt football. I know we're really close to about a little over a month and some change away from kickoff of college football. It's hard to believe. Duquesne, obviously the Panthers' first opponent, coming up August 30th. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then I know we want to talk a little bit Riverhounds, close it out. And, the Passion are done, right, Trace?
Yes, sir.
Some NFL news, too, I'd like to talk about a little bit about. So, but let's get right into it. So, as we know, everybody reported to camp today. So everybody's good to go. Tomorrow's the first practice. Storylines, guys, for camp. What storylines do you guys got off the top of your head? I mean, I can tell you, I want to see, obviously, Aaron Rodgers. I want to see the offensive philosophy. I want to see how this offensive line develops. I know we talked about this not last week, but the week before. We'd focused on offensive line. I know we're going to be covering tight ends tonight. But they've made significant investments in their offensive line. We know this, right? Particularly in the draft class with Fatano, with Frazier, with Mason McCormick. I just think Broderick Jones as well. Moving to left tackle. I just want to see this year 2 leap. I want to see how they're going to do. We talked about this, like I said, the last time we talked. Hey, this is going to be pivotal in protecting Aaron Rodgers and establishing a consistent run game as well, too. That's going to be very vital to the success of this offense. Yeah, I mean, other things, defensive adjustments. A lot of veterans on that defense. Often seen as a strength of the Steelers, but has had some changes in this offseason. Departure of Minkah Fitzpatrick's one of them. Addition of Jalen Ramsey and Darius Slay is another. Are they going to utilize more man coverage and blitzing with these additions? Are they going to kind of shift that focus, that defensive focus, that defensive approach? Obviously, want to get into TJ Watt as well. But another thing, guys, running back competition. With Harris going to the LA Chargers, Jalen Warren's going to be taking over as the lead back. He's going to have some competition, though. Caleb Johnson, I think, is that third rounder, man. He's going to be a good one, and I think his style. I said it before. I think his style could be a good fit for the Steelers. But we'll see what happens. Another thing too. Big thing with backs is can they pass protect? If he's a good pass protector, hey, he might be earning a little bit larger role than what Jalen Warren has. So wide receiver development, gentlemen. We got DK Metcalf. We got the departure of George Pickens. We've got Calvin Austin. Is he going to be that number 2? I still say they're going to need to go out and get somebody. What about Roman Wilson? What's he going to do this year? So, all right. I've said enough. Let's hear what you guys have to say.
Good evening, Edward. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, sir?
Not bad at all. Nice to see you again. Yes, Bill, I agree.
So, what topic are you hitting first, Billy?
Yeah.
Well, no, that was just a run. That was I know. That was just a rundown of my storylines entering camp. If you guys have any storylines that you're now's the time to talk, and then we'll get into tight ends.
Okay, yep. So the biggest storyline for me is obviously the tackle position. I have a little bit of a different take on it. When he came into the league, Broderick Jones came into the league, and I talked this over with Dr. McCown and Leberon, the French native from another place, and I disagree. I think the kid might be a bust, and here's why. Had he come into the league and he showed out at camp, he would no doubt have been the left tackle. No doubt. Yeah. What was the narrative when he came in? Dan Moore's having the best camp of his life. He looks so much better than blah, 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 blah. So if the kid was a talent, he would have showed out because one or two things can happen. If it's a veteran steps up his game, you're a rookie, one of two things can happen, right? You can match the veteran play for play. You can become lazy, do nothing, and realize, I don't care, I'm a first rounder. It's been this way my whole life. Just do whatever I want. I can get a little happy, take some of that money, put it in my belly as food, and I can just sit back. And he was not very good at right tackle. There's no doubt about it. He was not very good. So I can't believe that they're going to put him at left tackle and magically he's going to be a bona fide starter in the NFL. Had he shown out as a rookie in the NFL, Dan Moore would not have been a left tackle, period. Now, Dr. McCown attributed to the horrific coaching of Mike Tomlin that he refuses to start rookies and all this other nonsense. I'm saying that as eyes on the field, when there's no reporters that were saying Broderick Jones was doing well, but if in his one-on-ones, if he was shutting down TJ Watt, if he was shutting down Highsmith, if he was pancaking people left and right, he would have been the starting left tackle, period. End of story. What say you, Trace, about that left tackle?
Fundamentals, right? That's what when Ray was on the show, me and him had that probably 10-minute discussion just on the fundamentals of that. We're not sure that he actually transitioned from college to the NFL with the footwork and the hand placements that he needs. But once he starts figuring that out, I think he'll be pretty dominant. Just, everybody grows at different rates. That's all.
It's the third year. Had he been dominant from the start, he'd been the left tackle.
Well, whenever you're a stature like that, sometimes you really don't care about your technique until you start playing against guys who can handle you. Then you start worrying about your technique.
He played in the SEC, which is the development league for the NFL.
He didn't have a hard time there. Can't be that development.
He was rated highly by other scouts and other, publications.
Oh, they couldn't be wrong.
Is he going to be a bust? I mean, I think that's a legitimate. And then you're taking a tackle who's injured, and you're hoping and praying that his knees hold up, which I don't think they will. I think tackle's their biggest. And you see in ESPN rated them the 19th best roster out of 32 teams. And the very first paragraph from ESPN was the biggest problem with the Steelers is the tackles. You have unknown entities going into the
Well,
season. You have three of them. You have a
Yeah.
quarterback and two new tackles. So
I mean, the concern is the performance of Jones at going to left tackle at his natural
Blind
position.
side, right? Yep.
Right. But, like you said, I mean, Dan Moore was there for a reason. He didn't beat out Dan Moore at left tackle.
And how many opportunities do you have to do it?
Right. So that's a
Full
concern.
seasons.
Another concern is Fatana. Is he going to be healthy? Is he going to stay healthy and develop his game? Because he's got to develop his game as well. And that's Jones. He's at his natural position. Guess what? He needs to excel. So.
I 100% absolutely needs to excel. I mean, he has to, or else they don't have a team.
Right.
You're going to find out week one. You got the Jets who have a formidable front four.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as he doesn't lose confidence, right? I think as long as he doesn't lose confidence, he'll get better and better as the season goes along.
Right.
I think that, I mean, honestly, that's never a word we ever used to use when we were younger. It's just not a word we used to use. It was, the fragility of the mental state of professional athleticism right now is beyond
unbelievable.
It's beyond any sort of comparison to back in the heyday.
It's laughable how bad it is.
I mean, it just is. I mean, wrong position, my big fat patootie. The guy's an elite.
You're professional.
Yeah. Yes.
You're professional.
You couldn't beat him out.
You have God-gifted talent, too. You have God-gifted size.
Yes.
And strength, and and a lot of guys 40 years ago didn't have that, and they were able to overcome the obstacles and
take for instance one of your linebackers, Jack Lambert, who's barely 210 pounds, barely. Probably some games he dropped down under 200, right? But he used everything he had and hit with the Mack truck. I don't understand. For me, they're giving these athletes far too many excuses. Far too many. If you're an elite athlete, you beat out Dan Moore the second year. First year, I'll give you that trace, learning the NFL, blah, 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 blah. But if you're an elite athlete, your second year, you come in and you're like, F you, buddy. Guess what? I'm here. It's mine. You're not taking it. And it just didn't happen. Simply didn't happen. And your other unknown is a quarterback. I mean, you don't know how he's going to react to all that stuff.
And what's surprising is he came from Georgia, too. That's what's surprising.
And that's no joke there. He was a highly rated recruit. I think he's a 4-star recruit.
I mean, if he would have came from, I don't know.
Right, Texas Christian.
Yeah, if he would have came from
Abilene,
TCU or,
UTEP,
I don't know, Fresno State.
Sure.
You could be like, okay, Stanford. I mean, you could be like, all right, but this guy come from Georgia. This guy came from, and he played it up. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know what
if he ends up having trouble, I would assume the strategy to make him better would end up being dropping weight and making him more versatile to get in front of those defenders and to stop them versus the brawler that he's trying to be at that position.
Trace, he didn't brawl on the right side, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to be closely watched. He's going to be closely. He had a bad season last year.
Tried to brawl, and he didn't do it.
Yeah.
I'll
tell you what. What I've been doing this week, I've been going back and I've been on the NFL app on my Roku, and I've been going and I've been watching the condensed games from last year.
Yeah.
And, you see that. And I watched the first 3 games, and you saw, you saw a lot in those first. Well, the first offensive snap was fumbled, of the season. A lot of bad pass blocking. And you had freaking, the first 3 games that I'm watching, you had freaking, Justin Fields back there. But there was, I kind of went back and, like I said, watched these condensed games, and I'm kind of like realizing how bad they really were. And Broderick Jones was like a swinging door. He was like the door on the old time Western, the saloons that just,
swing back and forth. And what if they had played those 2 teams later in the year? Because those 2 teams were drastically different later in the year.
Yeah, right.
Chargers were a playoff team, and Falcons had a more dynamic quarterback. I mean, they could have lost those 2 as well.
Touche.
For me, it's there's so many unknowns. And as I was talking to the French native from another place, he mentioned that he saw Ray Fittipaldi on a podcast and said that he believed that Arthur Smith failed last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
We're gonna get Ray. We're gonna get Ray back on the show. I would have liked to get him on tonight, but we just didn't have enough. He's preparing for camp tomorrow, and I was messaging back and forth today, and I know he's busy, but we're gonna get him back on. He's gonna come back on when he gets a second, and we're gonna hash out some of this stuff because I want to get his take on a lot of this stuff and see where we're at. I think probably a good time to bring him in is when we get a little bit of camp, already under our belt. We can kind of, pick his brain on what he's seeing. So
get that assessment, that visual assessment.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, with the way it is nowadays, how much are you going to see? I mean,
right.
You already installed both of them as starters. You're not going to want to use them that much because, Fautano's got that glass knee. You're going to have to.
So I disagree there, though. I think that line, they need as many reps as they can have together before they start taking real snaps.
What do you think hurt?
I'm not saying full go all the time. I'm just saying they should have the most reps in the camp as possible together. Like, you got to get them gelling.
Right. They got to eat together, shower together, hang out together, all that stuff.
Wash each other's backs in the shower.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, it builds camaraderie.
I don't know what you defensive backs do, but, some of us watch each other's back, but not stare at it, boys.
That's a good point, sir. All right. That leads to a great transition to Billy's next one.
Tight ends.
Yeah, tight ends.
I knew he was going to lose it.
What? Lose what?
Tight ends. As soon as you said the word tight ends, he was going to lose it. No. Yeah. So what do you make? They got 3 tight ends, Billy. What do you make of them? Come on, boy. Let me hear some.
It's kind of you've got a blend of veteran talent, and you've got some guys that are in developmental stages right now. Obviously Pat Freiermuth, veteran, seasoned tight end. He's on year 5 now.
Yeah.
I would say when I look at Pat and in his 5 years that he's been in the league, I think it's been pretty consistent. Receiving production wise, now that you have Aaron Rodgers there, I would hope that what do we always say, guys? They don't cover the tight end and they don't throw to the tight end. I would say that now that Aaron Rodgers is there, and we know it's going to be his offense. We know. I said it before. I think Arthur Smith ought to take a pay cut because I think that Aaron's going to be. He's going to be really calling on a lot of these plays. And if he doesn't like something, he's just going to overrule Arthur Smith. And there's not going to be anything Arthur Smith is going to be able to do about it. He has full autonomy right now. I mean, it's just that's how it is. And you know what? Judging on what I've seen in the Arthur Smith offense from last year, more power to him. I'm glad he has full autonomy. I'm glad. But I think his Pat Freiermuth, they need to increase his role within the offense. He's, like I said, he's shown that he's a consistent receiver, production wise.
How is it blocking now?
Well, he's not the greatest blocker, but I think he needs an increased role in this offense. What do you guys think? Let's just go. Let's go each tight end. Let's get our takes on them, and we'll start with Freiermuth. Next, we'll go with Jonnu Smith. But let's close out Freiermuth. Ed, what do you think about what I just said?
I mean, consistent-wise, I'm looking at his stats. So it's 60, 63, 32, 65. So the 2023 season, he was hurt a lot. Right. So to your point, 60, 63, 65, you throw out that outlier. And
he's been consistent.
Yeah, you're right. He's been about 60 catch guy.
I mean,
touchdowns aren't necessarily there.
Right.
You get, he's averaging about four, a little more than 4, but we don't have touchdowns in the NFL.
I mean, I'm not going to say you want more quantitative production. I think you want more qualitative production. I think is what I'm looking at.
Well, obviously, when you have his
touchdowns,
you want to have his catches be meaningful. first downs and touchdowns. I mean, he's just about he's not really that great at tight end. He's only got 2,000 yards. They don't really utilize the tight end. I don't know, giving him $48 million is worth it. And I don't know. I don't really think, Billy. I don't think he's going to be the number one tight end when you start getting the season because Johnny Smith knows the offense.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well,
Wait,
we'll get to that.
He's a better tight end.
So is he more balanced?
I
Which
think
one's more balanced?
Oh, Johnny Smith, no doubt. He can block and everything. He's a much better tight end.
He's a better tight end all around.
I think they're gonna stretch out Freiermuth. I'm telling you, I think he's gonna end up being the number 2. You know,
He could be.
Well, even Johnny Smith could be the number 2.
Right, but I'm saying if you go into 3 tight end sets like Arthur Smith likes to do, I mean, you keep the mountain at home, and now you have 3 targets of 6'4" or higher, right? So I mean that's going to be difficult because you're not going to come across a team who has, first of all, linebackers that are big and can run, let alone corners and safeties that are big and can run. Yeah. So I mean, you have a possibility of major mismatches there. I just think it comes down to, and it's always going to come back to the same thing. It's going to come back to those 2 tackles. But as far as closing out Freiermuth, I like your point, Billy. He's consistent when he's not hurt, but he's such a liability in the run game. I would have to say that he's just a little bit below average overall.
Yeah. Trace, what do you think?
I like it if they split him out. If this Johnny Smith, I don't know too much about Johnny Smith. I'm sorry, man, but if he's a more balanced tight end, I think we could be onto something just by putting Pat in motion, put him outside a little bit, maybe as a number 2. But also remember they can move that other tight end we have, the third tight end we're going to talk about here out there, and maybe him being a number 2. You know what I mean? Like 2 jump balls, or even in the red zone, that'd be something.
Hey,
with Washington,
he doesn't have hands though.
Well, hey, he caught the first touchdown last year of the season in Denver.
True. I just don't think he's a hands catcher. Like
I know. Yeah,
I don't think he was, but I thought it got better. I seen it. It improved.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk Jonas Smith. As we know, acquired via trade with the Dolphins. Ed, to your point, I mean, I think he's a better all around tight end. He can block. He brings experience. He has a strong track record. Very good receiving production. Pro Bowl selection last year. Has prior experience, as we know, with offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. He knows the offense. He knows Arthur Smith's philosophy on offense. The whole 9 yards. I liked it. I liked him coming over. I like it. So,
well, I mean, let me pull up his statistical. He's, I mean, you can't beat his last year. Last year he had a quarterback that he liked. I mean, 88 catches. Come on,
right?
His career is nothing. His career is not that. He's probably averages. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, he averages not a lot.
Right.
Put it that way. Not a lot. He's averaging 27 catches a year.
Yeah.
Less that one outlier. But he was in a tight end friendly offense.
Right.
When he was in Atlanta, he was only there 1 year and he only caught 3 touchdowns, and he didn't really utilize them that well.
And Rodgers is gonna take a page out of the Tom Brady philosophy, spread the ball around. He's gonna want to throw to the tight end. That's why I think they really kind of loaded up on that position.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, the guy's he's an all-around tight end. He was with Arthur Smith not only in Tennessee but also in Atlanta, so he has lots of experience,
right,
in the league with him. So I think that's going to be a mucho positive.
And I think there's something to say about a comfort zone. It goes both ways for the coach and the player.
Oh, absolutely.
So there's something to that for sure, no doubt about that. So
yeah,
Trace.
I'm excited to see him. I can't wait to see him in action to see what you guys are saying for him. Hopefully he gels very well, and I think Aaron might be able to hit these tight ends a little better than some of these quarterbacks we've had that had the rock recently here. That's what I think.
I agree.
Great.
Wholeheartedly agree. Now we go on to the third one. What do you think of the third one, Billy?
Darnell Washington, entering his 3rd season. I mean, there's been times where I've said, you know what, gain 30, 35, 40 pounds and become a tackle if you're not going to utilize them. I think he's a powerful blocker. We've seen that in the sets that he's been in last year. Could he have a potential larger role in the passing game? Potentially. Like I said, last year, he caught the first touchdown pass of the season in Denver. That was the first touchdown of the season last year in Denver on that fade route in the end zone.
Yeah.
So,
2 years, 26 catches, 261 yards, and 1 touchdown.
I mean, he's a great blocker. That's why I said, hey, if you're not going to utilize him, have him,
eat a couple burgers.
Have him eat a little bit more and spend some more time in the weight room and down a little bit more creatine and put on 35 pounds and make him a tackle, hell, make him a swing tackle, I mean,
they might be forced to do that just because I don't think he's. And also, I mean, that's why multiple tight end sets are going to be important for them because it's going to be harder for the defense to diagnose. If you bring out, Freiermuth and Washington, most likely going to be a run play. But now you had Jonnu Smith, Freiermuth, and Washington. Now you have 2 legitimate targets and 1 blocker. So you'll have a little bit of confusion, a little bit of something for the defenses to,
I mean, and you can use a decoy. You can use decoy sets in those in those and that's what you're that's what you're looking at. You're looking at a large arsenal at your disposal when it comes to that.
But again, will Arthur Smith evolve and throw a ton of eye candy like every other team does? The Steelers are so much in the base set that it's just, first of all, it's extremely important offense.
I think if Aaron Rodgers has any say in it, which he does, it will. You'll see a dynamic shift in the way
How many interceptions does Tomlin take down the middle before he shuts them down? Because this is all Tomlin. I mean, if he starts throwing the ball around the yard and he has success, that was another point. If he has success this year and they don't win a playoff game, does he come back for a year? If he has success and they win a playoff game, does he come back for a year?
All good questions. All good questions, Eddie.
Tomlin. But I mean, if he's able to open up the middle of the field, they're going to be a drastically better team on offense because
which is what they've lacked in recent years.
Right.
Which is what they've lacked. And since Ben has retired, they haven't opened up the middle of the field at all. Right. And I think the biggest thing is keeping him upright. Yeah. And 41 soon, what? 41 soon to be 42-year-old quarterback. Yeah. You're going to need to have, you're going to need max protect on a lot of your plays. And,
But that also, I mean, that's why they need a more dynamic number 2 because DK he's a deep threat. We get it, but he's not really a sit in his own type of player, right?
Well,
right. They need that route runner, that possession guy, something.
Calvin Austin is that guy, but if you're looking at the combat catch factor,
he's just too small.
He ain't got it. He's too small. He needs a step ladder, Right.
And then it becomes harder. I mean, Rodgers throws some, many platforms. He has great arm, right, which will probably help. But if they don't find a number 2, man, if they're counting on Roman Wilson, another unknown entity, that brings you up to how many on offense now? 4, 2 tackles, a quarterback, and a wide receiver.
They need a wide receiver with hands that can do the cone drill. That's what they need.
Right.
Right now, they have guys who can fly down the field. That's great. But they need somebody who can do the cone drill, get some separation, and turn their shoulder pads as the quarterback.
Or just go 5 yards, turn around, catch the ball, and get some yak.
Which might be why they went after the tight ends.
I mean, that's really their yak was really low last year. I mean, the yak. That's the things they don't focus on. But to take the entire 1/3 of the field away is, first of all, to say it out loud is obnoxiously ignorant. Right. But I mean, if he's able to open that up, I mean, it's going to make them a better team, arguably. I mean, that's indefensible. If he's able to throw down the middle with success, and all of a sudden it opens up, it opens up the slant, it opens up the deep ball better. But ultimately, it's 2 guys, man, 2 gentlemen.
Right.
Can they hold up?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, let's talk Connor Hayward. Primarily, I would say he's valued on this team for his special teams, right?
Oh.
And they've put him as an H back, which is kind of what they've labeled him as is tight end / H back, special teams specialist.
Yeah.
He's going to be competing for a roster spot, guys. I think there's some newer additions. You got that JJ Galbraith, you got DJ Thomas Jones, who's kind of like a Connor Hayward. He's a tight end / fullback, also a special team specialist. And so Connor Hayward's going to have to. He's one guy too that is going to be competing for a roster spot. I really believe.
41 receptions, 358 yards, 2 touchdowns in 3 years.
Yeah, I mean he's had some. I know at the start of last year they had him in there, and he had some penalty issues, some habeas gravis. That he was guilty of. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I think he's got to hunker down and really compete, because I think he's going to have to show that he's going to have to earn a roster spot.
He is, but he is one of their special teams aces. So,
well, I think that's might be his saving grace is the fact that he has contributed significantly on special teams, and that alone might earn him a roster spot.
So not only that, but he's also, when you said specialist, he's contributed on that 3rd, 4th down, even touchdowns when we needed something. He's been like a guy who's provided a spark. I have a hard time believing they'll get rid of him, but I do think he's number 4 right now.
Yeah.
Well, that takes care of all your H-backs and tight ends. I mean, that's pretty much the gamut they have. Yeah. That's what they're working with. I mean, it's just, to me, it's not scary enough, right? I mean, Johnny Smith is an upgrade, there's no doubt, but it's just not scary enough.
Yeah.
Especially if the left and right turnstiles, like at a subway station, then they're just done.
Scary. I don't know that they're going to be scary at all. I think they're just going to throw the ball around a little bit and dance. I don't think there's anything scary about them.
Well, I mean, other teams that are scary, no doubt. I mean, other teams have multiple weapons for the quarterbacks.
Right.
I just think the problem is they're caught in the quarterback carousel, right?
Yeah.
Until they get out of the quarterback carousel. I mean, you made it to 1980.
That's when you start figuring some things out. I agree.
You made it to 1980 with Bradshaw. Then you had pains because you didn't take Marino because of bad intel. Then you get to Neil O'Donnell, / nothing. So it takes you basically from 80 to 2005. And then you went 2005 to 2022, and now you're, back to God knows what.
Square one again, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that, for me, that leads in. That's the segue that leads into.
You're essentially back to 1969 again, right. When right before they took Bradshaw. Yeah.
Or 81 after he retired. Yeah. But I mean, honestly, that leads to the TJ Watt signing. For me, it does, because there's no doubt the guy is a generational talent. Nobody can argue that. No doubt he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Those aren't the things that are in doubt. And no doubt he's a class guy. No doubt on any of those things. The problem I had with the signing was only one thing and one thing only. You've not won with him. I mean, Myles Garrett has 2 playoff wins. TJ Watt has 0. 0 playoff wins, right? And if I were the Steelers Chrome, because they haven't earned their brass moniker yet, if I was the Steelers Chrome, I'm sorry, I think I would have traded him. His brother went for like 2 2s, a 2 and a 3, something crazy. I think he could have got that for him.
Yeah.
And then that gives you 2 years of two picks in the first round, which allows you to have more flexibility and allows you to have a higher hit rate. Because if you're taking 4 as opposed to 2, you got a better chance of some hitting.
And it keeps your price tags down for a very long time.
Exactly.
I think that they had a philosophy of like, hey, this is a year that listen, they've added a lot of old players. Okay.
Yeah.
They've added a lot of old players. And I think they kind of looked at this and like, hey, we've added all these old players. There's no way we can get rid of TJ Watt. I think they really approached it from that standpoint. And I think that TJ Watt's agent knew, hey, you're getting signed. It's all a matter of how much money can we milk out of them. I really believe that. I really believe that you know,
So
they
he got
took that.
He got 108 million guaranteed. You know why he got 108 million guaranteed? Anybody know why?
Somebody else said 107 mil guaranteed.
No, he has 108 sacks.
Right.
So he got it basically $1 million a sack.
Per sack, yeah.
This is why his is 108.
Yeah,
I mean, there's nothing against the guy, but as I was talking to Dr. McCown today during my procedure at lunch, he was saying that he was we all remember because we were all on the air together. He was against the second contract, and he made a good point. So had you not signed that second contract 4 years ago, right? And you traded him, and you probably would have got even more for him back then. Say you get 3 number ones, a 2, and a 3, right? By now, that's 5 extra players. Who knows what they could have been?
Right.
5 extra players, right?
Yeah.
You might have had 3 studs, you might have had 5 studs, and they're all cheap. And you just repeat the process again.
And I'm going to tell you something right now. And I've gotten to arguments with people, and if you're like me and you go back and you watch condensed games and you watch certain players, I do not want to hear. I'm sick and tired of hearing this all the time because it's a myth and it's not true. He does not get double teamed every play. Okay, he gets double teamed about 40% of the plays. Okay, that's the harsh reality. Okay, stop saying that because it's not true. I've gotten it. I can't tell you how many people have told me, well, he gets double teamed every play. I said, well, last year, the last 10 games, he wasn't on the stat sheet. Well, he gets double teamed. No, he doesn't. He gets double teamed 40% out of the snaps. 60% of the time, he is not double teamed. Okay, so I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
He definitely did not have the stats. I mean, they go back and review the stats, and he'll get a half tackle.
Hey, listen, listen. In 2023, Cam Hayward was coming off that injury. He had a bad year in 2023. He bounced back last year. Could TJ Watt do the same thing? Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm not ready to write the guy off and say that, but hey, 3-year, $123 million, highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL history. I mean,
it's not going to last that long, though.
Right.
It's only going to last for another couple of days.
Right.
We can get into that one.
Well, no, yeah. Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's all on paper like that, but we know that how things shift and how, it's smoke and mirrors is what it comes down to.
Well, what else it did for them also is I was looking at the cap today. It also freed up about $7 million. So now they're sitting like $32.5 million free going into the season. So maybe this year, as opposed to the last couple of years, maybe they wait and they see that cap casualty wide receiver who was higher on their board than say an Amari Cooper, right?
Right.
And
they say, hey,
we have the money. Let's do it.
I still say Terry McLaurin is holding out. There's potential for him to hold out. I still say, hey,
they don't have enough money. He's going to get 34.
Yeah, I mean that's the guy I've always wanted.
He'll sign.
Right.
They're just working out language. He's going to sign.
Yeah.
Because they need him too, and they have the money.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the TJ Watt, that's my philosophy. I just really think that they signed all these old guys, and they're like, there's no way we can get rid of them. Let's
we thought the same thing about Minka.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, he ends up being the scapegoat for the entire season last year defensively.
Yeah.
I mean,
like I said, his production was not there. 2 years, one interception and 1 forced fumble. I mean, that's just, I use center fielder. I get it. And there's,
not many center fielders have forced fumbles.
Right.
I don't like that stat. The stat of the interceptions is better because it has the ability to see everything.
Right.
But
I'm just throwing it out there production wise. He had in 2 years he had an interception and a forced fumble.
Yep.
So.
And then we haven't got to our defensive players yet, but when we get to defense, they have a glaring weakness at cornerback. They just do.
Yeah.
You have 31, you have 31 and 35, and then you have a guy who just can't stop. He is the picture of habeas corpus.
I really want to I can't wait until we get to defensive tackles because there's a lot that I want to unpack there. There's a lot there that I really want to talk about, and
it'll be like Festivus for defense tackles. Got a lot on my mind. A lot of you people may be mad.
I'm just like we're talking Steelers again.
Yeah.
Something, this to me, I mean, hey, I'm a true football fan. I mean, to me, the season starts tomorrow. When they're in camp, that's the season starting for me because there's the storylines.
Started when that first team went in on July 12th. That's when the season begins.
Yeah. New throwback jerseys, guys. A little off topic. What do you think of them? They're going back a little bit to that 94 or 95. When, the 75th anniversary when they wore those against the Colts. Yeah,
33. Yeah. I mean, for me, Bill, we're huge, football fans. I don't know why they don't do it every year. The amount of money you make. They had the Packers come out today. Well, I'll say that when we get there. But I don't know why they don't do it every year, Bill. I really don't.
They're going to wear them against the Packers, I guess, in October. Is that game? They're going to wear.
I think it's fitting, right? If you're going to do it then.
Right.
Yeah, I everybody's saying, oh, they're ugly. They're ugly. They said that about the bumblebees too. They didn't like the bumblebees.
Why you ain't got no alibi? You ugly. Hey. Sorry.
This is what they looked like in 1933. Okay, if you want to go to a true throwback, that's what they wore back then. I mean, I think you have the city crest. You have that. I think it's pretty cool. I like those jerseys. I've always been a fan of the throwbacks.
I like them more with the small numbers, though, Billy, instead of the bigger numbers they have to do.
Well, yes, I agree.
But I know why they have to do them.
What I don't like about this jersey in particular is you have when they did it in '95, they had the crest right in the middle. They had the 75 NFL 70 because that was a year the patch, and then they had the number up in the left-hand side, which I liked, and it was in black. And then they had black on the back and black number on the back and black name. This is weird. You have the large box letter number in white on the front, large box number in black on the back, and name in the back. Why don't you, if you're going to keep, to me, uniformity, it should be white numbers on the back as well. Don't have black on the back. I just, I either go black in the front, black in the back, or don't go white numbers in the front and black numbers on the back. I just didn't like that. I didn't think that's I don't know.
Kosher. So, it wasn't kosher.
Yeah. So that's the only problem. I mean, people said, "Oh, the beige, pants are, they should have went black." Well, a lot of teams back then wore beige pants. They had a standard pant in the NFL, and it was primarily beige.
Beige pantalon.
So, I mean, that was the whole thing that I think people are missing. They automatically think that a throwback. Oh, it's a color rush. No, it's going back to the uniform scheme of a particular year and era. Okay, this happens to be 1933 that they're going back to. Okay. So, yes, they're trying to copy with the little, additions thrown in, modern additions thrown in, but they're trying to copy the uniform scheme from 1933. That's what they're trying to do, folks, okay? Yep. So there's a lot of people, they're losing essence of what they're actually trying to do. It's called a throwback, okay? It's not called an alternate. It's a throwback. Okay?
It's thrown.
So, yes. So
back.
But all right.
The past.
Anything else we want to talk about? I mean, I'm interested to see what happens in the coming days. I'll be tuned in. I think Pat Kerwin and Jimmy Miller go there. I think they go there next Wednesday. I want to say
they're there.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Friday,
right.
August 1st.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's right. They're there for the Friday Night Lights. Yeah. So, but I'll tell you one thing too, guys. I'm wearing the shirt today. I figured I'd sport the shirt. Shamrocks and Steel, Croke Park, Dublin, Ireland, against the Vikings. I'm pumped about that. I really am. I'm pumped.
25.
Yeah, I'm pumped about that.
Kind of pantaloons you got to go with that shirt, Bill?
Don't answer that.
Yeah.
Are they beige?
No, they're not beige.
It's a PG show.
Yeah.
Are they peach, Fuss like? What are they?
Yeah. But no, I'm excited for that. I mean, Ireland game. I think it's only fitting the Roonies, and it's just.
Yeah, he wasn't.
I would have liked to see another team though. I know I was at Wembley. Back in 2013, I was at Wembley when they played the Vikings, and that was like their last international game against. They played the Vikings, and now they're doing another international game again against the Vikings again. And I'm just
are
like,
we going as a media network?
oh, I would love to, but it's pretty.
Where the hell is that?
I said, are we going as a media company?
All right, where to?
Dublin, Ireland.
But no, I would have liked to see them face another team than an NFC team. I would have liked to see them like maybe the Ravens or something like that. I don't know. But
they make good whiskey there and really good beer too, Eddie.
They wouldn't take a game like that.
Well, I don't think they wouldn't have done an AFC North division matchup. They wouldn't have done that. But I mean, maybe Washington would have been a better,
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Like I said, they played
What
the
about
Vikings
Dallas even, right?
Yeah, even Dallas. They played the Vikings in the last international game. Now they're playing them again. I would
they're hamstrung by the schedule as well. They don't play the NFC.
Yeah.
They played them last year, so now they played the North.
How about the Bears? I would have liked to see the Bears.
Bears.
Steelers and Bears in Ireland. Two franchises that go back. Storied franchises that go back. Even the Packers. That'd have been
great. On the coin.
Green Bay in Ireland and Steelers in Ireland. That'd have been great too.
Yeah.
But then they got the flipping Vikings again for the international game. So, I don't know. So, all right, let's cover real quick NFL notes because we are running a little bit behind here. I was looking at some just some things going on here and nothing too much. Browns, did you see those helmets they unveiled?
Yeah.
Yeah, God, those are awful.
Do you see the guy fall in the water?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
know. They're opening training camp with running back Quashon Judkins' status undetermined. How about that situation?
That's crazy, right? The Browns have no running back.
No, they drafted 3.
Well, I tell you what, man, they should have kept Chubb. Is what I think they should have done. Hey, we all know what happened to one team, the New York Giants, when they got rid of their running back, right? And he went somewhere else and excelled. I just I thought that was a bad move on their part, getting rid of Chubb. I think it's now you're gonna be passing to set up the run instead of running to set up the pass, in my opinion. So,
well, we'll see because they did draft 3 running backs. In the draft, we'll see, and they should have replenish their stable.
2 quarterbacks that show a lot of promise too.
They do. My only NFL news was the revenue that the Packers unveiled: $432.6 million last year in revenue.
Really?
Which means everyone in the NFL made at least that. So that's what, $13 billion, which is an NFL record. That's why I would change my jersey every flipping year. Why not? I mean, you make so much money off that. We watch all the leagues in Europe. They do it yearly.
Right.
And it's a whole. They have a whole.
Well, not even just every year, Eddie. Just even if they do the gimmicky weeks, even the 1 week they do this throwback stuff, maybe they do maybe a veteran something or whatever, and then all of a sudden everybody's buying it. That's just revenue.
And maybe they had to do full throwback and wear open-faced helmets, leather helmets. How about that? Do that one weekend.
Yeah. Now, I mean, honestly, I think the NFL has far too much control over the uniforms. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Paul Skeens? We'll
be getting there. Yeah, we'll be getting there here. So, how are we gentlemen doing? We are doing us gentlemen are doing great there. SGA Sports
and
Talk
doing
Channel.
Gentlemanly things.
We're doing great. I hope you're doing well too. So, this hit little home. Being a Pitt fan, Jordan Addison waits for potential suspension after drunken driving plea. Stupid. Just plain dumbness. That's all I'm going to say about it.
I mean, honestly, there should be some penalty for stupidity because in this day and age, with ride sharing and the fact that you're part of an NFL franchise that you call a number and they send a car, regardless of anything, no questions asked. Right. Stupid should really hurt, Billy.
Right.
It should really hurt. They should put him in the corner every practice with a dunce cap on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all the opportunities these guys have. Plus, by the way, you're a multimillionaire, right? Go hire a freaking driver.
Right.
I have no tolerance for that anymore.
Yeah. Tua Tagovailoa says rebuilding trust with Tyreek Hill is ongoing. Hey, you know what? He basically quit on his team until said he wanted out. That's going to take a little bit of time. That's going to take a little bit of time to rebuild that thing. It's, so
Myles Garrett did the same thing, and he was at practice today.
Yeah.
Shirt off.
Well, no, that's true. He wrote it. Yeah. Very,
looking
very
like a
true.
Greek statue.
Yeah. So
that guy's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Giants open camp at Jackson Dart in spotlight, but Russell Wilson is still starting QB.
Yep.
So
smart. I mean, that's what smart quarterback. That's what smart coaches do. And he refused to answer any of the questions. No, he's our starter. Okay, next question. That's what you do.
Yep. Browns placed Deshaun Watson on PUP list. Expected to miss season. The gift that keeps on giving.
Keeps on giving.
Saints safety Tyrann Honey Badger Matthew retires after 12 NFL seasons.
I was a little shocked by that.
I was too. I didn't think that. I didn't see that coming.
I didn't either.
I didn't see that coming.
I understand why people drink alcohol and get behind the wheel of a moving vehicle and think they aren't going. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, that's exactly. I mean, it's just
an Uber, buddy.
This day and age. I mean, 25, 30 years ago. Yeah, I mean, I could see, but there's no excuse this day and age. None whatsoever.
No.
Michael Parsons set to participate in Cowboys training camp as he seeks contract extension. They're gonna get that done too, I think.
So it goes back, and another quick point on that real quick. So you pay him, he's gonna get he's better than Watt, he's better than Garrett, he's better than Crosby, he's better than all of them. Because he runs like a 4-3-9, and he not only is he line up at every position on the defensive line, but he also covers people out of the backfield. Anyway, so he's going to get north of $41 million. So Dak's at 60, he'll be at 41, 42, and then CeeDee Lamb's at 40. Yeah, it's 140 million for 3 players.
Yeah.
They have to do something about the quarterback.
Right.
That's not sustainable, Edward.
It's not, and you have to look to the NBA model, not the product, Dr. McCown. Because Dr. McCown says the product sucks. We're not talking about the product. We're talking about the fact that 8 years in a row they've had a different winner. How the heck do you think the Milwaukee friggin' Bucks won an NBA championship? Because they were able to retain Giannis Antetokounmpo and pay him more because it was allowed, and other players.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to take that quarterback position and do something with it.
Right.
Rather than
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just stupid. Just stupidity.
It is.
Utter stupidity. All right, let's get into Pirates. Trade deadline's approaching next Thursday, the 31st, same day that the Hall of Fame game kicks off. Obviously, Paul Skeens, O'Neal Cruz are not expected to be traded. Other players like Mitch Keller, he's an innings eater. A lot of teams are gonna want those guys, especially teams that are that are competing for a pennant. Man, they're gonna need an innings eater. David Bednar's another guy who's been linked to some trade talk. Dennis Santana has generated some interest as well. Connor Falefa has generated some.
So there's only 59 games left. They played 100.
I mean, they're over, right? I mean, they're get SGA. Getting to your point about Paul Skeens, I mean, despite this team record and this team just being just an utter dumpster fire, and that's kind of putting it mildly. I mean, he's been the one bright spot on this team. I mean, he's got a 1.91 ERA, the best in baseball. They have no intention of trading him, but for the love of God, why don't you build around him, asshole? I mean, how about that? I mean, how hard is that to
accomplish?
Yeah, I don't understand why, So, GM Ben Cherington got to go. He's got to go. His time is listen, when they got rid of Shelton, it should have been a 2-for-1 deal. They should have got rid of Cherington as well. What I fear about that is basically they probably told Cherington he's done, and they're just letting him finish out the season because the guy's already sold his house. So there's a lot of things pointing to that he's probably done. What I fear with that is not necessarily fear, because I could really give two shits less, But Donnie Kelly, I think, is going to be out. I think you get a new GM in there. Charrington leaves. They're going to want to bring their own guy in there, and Donnie Kelly's going to been out. And listen, it was great while it lasted. The whole Donnie ball, I get it. Now they've kind of come back down to reality. I mean, not against this Detroit series. I mean, for the love of God, they swept them. But the previous, I mean, bad team, White Sox, and you get your ass handed to you. What was it? I think they got outscored like 27-6 in that series.
Yeah.
So there's this team is just it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. I don't want to hear the bullshit that Charrington. Oh, well, we're viewing this trade deadline as an opportunity to improve the Pirates for 2026. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Okay, you don't have any intention of doing anything. Okay, that's just it's. I don't want to hear that.
It's poppycock, hogwash.
Yeah. Paul Skeens is such a great pitcher, and his girlfriend's Livy Dunn, who is such a baddie. He was a former gymnast on LSU, and she's a prominent social media personality. Yeah, and he's stuck here in purgatory. I feel bad for the guy. I really do. I mean, just think if he was on the Yankees or if he was on the Phillies, where his career would be. Just look at the trajectory his career would be going right out the gate. And he's a freaking Pirate. I mean, he must go to cry himself to sleep at night. Because I think I would.
Well, he doesn't because Livy Dunn is his girlfriend, and
Yeah, but I'm sure I'd be biting the pillow some nights. I mean, I got to be honest.
Holy Moses, PG, Billy, PG.
So, yeah, what's going on, bro? You do that quite often, huh?
Is there
need to breathe that in.
I mean, I don't know what even to say about this team anymore. I mean, they do this. They get swept by the worst team in baseball, and then they go. Detroit. I mean, they had their struggles, but generally, Detroit has been pretty damn good this year.
I know number one team in MLB for a while.
Right. As of late, though, they've had some issues, and they've had a losing streak prior to this, and then they went on a little bit of a winning streak, and then now they got swept by the Pirates. So I don't know what to say about this team.
They have the second best record in the NL in the whole league.
But no, I'm saying prior to this, like a week ago,
yeah,
I was listening to National Sports Talk, and they were saying they were a little bit concerned because they had lost a string of games. They had lost a couple series that they shouldn't have lost, and there was people like they're like, it's one thing to lose, a couple series. When you lose, a couple series in a row to bad teams, it's like,
right.
Your momentum could be fading, So
yeah, to your point, in their last 10, they were 1-9.
Yeah. So, but I mean, what can I mean? Listen, I think they should just unload and
that's the question, Billy. Who's gone?
Well, Mitch Keller, I think, is gone. I think he pitched his last game. He just pitched when yesterday. Yeah, I think that was his last game. I think he's gone. I think there's no way they're gonna. They're gonna get decent return out of him. Like I said, he's an innings eater, and there's a lot of teams that need that right now, or that are building up for the postseason. Because let's face it, we're in the final. We're in the final leg here of the season. We're 50. Most teams are 50 something games left. For most teams, so we're in. I'm
pretty sure whenever this guy came on board, he said 26 was the year he's aiming to get after something. Right? I don't see it.
No, they're not.
No, not even close. Not even remotely.
I mean, if he means 30, 26, yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't even talk about the Pirates anymore then.
We're not going to have to here in a little bit. So
right. Key Brian Hayes, another guy who, the juice isn't worth the squeeze with him. Don't care that he's been a Golden Glove. He can't hit worth a damn. And,
well, you feel like.
Right. I mean, you just can't. There's just, Henry Davis. I mean, another guy who. I will say one thing about Charrington. He has drafted halfway decent. His first round drafts have been pretty damn decent. I will say that about him. That's the only thing I'll give him. Everything else in between has been bad.
Though, when you're drafting high in the draft, it's pretty easy not to.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, that comes with the disclaimer.
All teams, I don't think we're going to draft him. Of course we're going to.
Yeah. No, I mean that comes with this disclaimer. Yeah, I mean definitely. So, but I mean, it's just. It's just this team is just they're frustrating to watch. They're frustrating to cover. They're frustrating to follow. And yeah, I mean, like you said,
ultimately they're fooked.
Yeah.
All right, maybe we shouldn't cover the Pirates.
I'm with Trace, man. After the trade deadline, I think we just mentioned what they're doing.
Yeah.
2-minute segment, and that's it.
All right, let's talk Penguins real quick before we
was it, Darla King or whatever?
Yeah,
back in the thing.
Let's talk Penguins before we close it off here. So a little bit of some additions. I was happy they got Matt Dumba. I thought that was really good from Dallas. I like the Mantha kid. Yeah, he's really good. Yep. You acquired that goaltender, that Artur Silvas. He was another one that has promise. They're looking to get younger, but they're looking to get younger. But you've.
Who they get from Dallas?
Matt Dumba. Yeah. Paul Skeens is featured on the MLB The Show cover with L.A. De La Cruz and Gunnar. Yeah, I know. He's a stud. He's a phenom. He's a stud. He's awesome. I just walked by him in the hallway the other day because I work at PNC Park. I was going down to make a delivery, and I went down the breezeway and walked right past the clubhouse, and I saw him, Mitch Keller, and Brian Reynolds all walking down the hallway together. Yeah, I mean, he's a specimen too. I mean, those guys.
Big boy, 6'5".
Yeah. So, but So Penguins season opener. We got New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden. Do you think they may have? Looked at that and scheduled that for an opening game? You think there was something behind that? New York Rangers, Madison Square Garden, October 7th. First home game is October 9th for the Penguins. So.
Wow.
Listen, I'm not expecting too much, unfortunately. He is a GOAT. Agreed. Not expecting a lot. And it's a shame. We'll see what happens. I still don't like the hire of Dan Muse, but we'll see what happens. I'm willing to give the guy a chance. They shifted after a decade under Mike Sullivan. I mean, can you imagine that? I mean, in a sport in the NHL where, there's a high turnover for coaches, he was a decade here, guys.
Yep.
Pretty unbelievable. But, like I said, they're saying they're focused on getting younger. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Keep telling yourself that. I mean,
whisper to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, Dubas has been a dumbass, in my opinion. He just has. He hasn't done what I. He's in. Hey, John Rustino, our buddy that we do shows with, who's a Leafs fan, he can tell you firsthand about Dubas. He can tell you, the failures of the Dubas, and I don't know. I could see why Lemieux and Burkle are trying to buy this team back. I hope they do, because this FSG thing is an absolute disaster, in my opinion. Not to be critical, but that's the way I look at it.
Not to be critical, but
no. All right, let's talk a little Pitt basketball. I know we haven't talked Pitt basketball in the last time we talked Pitt basketball, it was still 30 degrees and snow was flying here in the Berg. But let's talk a little Pitt basketball. They're going to renew their rivalry with Villanova, guys. How about us starting a home-and-home series this season? What do you guys think about that?
I mean, first of all, Pitt needs to be competitive. If it's not competitive, it doesn't matter who they play, right? They can play. Right. They can play the third shift.
Well,
Robinson Walmart.
Yeah.
Right.
California Penal League.
Right. In this league,
Birmingham School for the Blind. Birmingham School for the Blind.
Right. Honestly,
Rustino pounds the death.
Yes, Rustino pounds.
A little inside joke, John. If you're watching, you know what we're talking about when we say that.
So, growing up, the best conference obviously was the Big East. It was unbelievable. The teams they had.
Well,
it was the best conference for basketball for years.
Listen, it's slow in Pitt athletics right now. Okay, so this is going to make the headline. Now, if Pitt was competitive, would this be a bigger story?
Yeah, Villanova's not competitive either.
No, they're not either. Right, exactly. Yeah.
Jay Wright left 2 years ago, and they've been crapola.
Yeah. So, but I like it. It was a rivalry there for a long time, and I like the home and home series that they're going to have this year. I like it. I think it's I think it's good. So, but I don't expect much from that transfer portal was harsh to Jeff Capel. I don't expect much from them. And I'm going to say this too. Let's transition into Pitt football. Ed, I'm starting to kind of buy what you're selling. I'm looking at some things with Pitt football, and there's a lot of concerns that I have. And
he can coach defense. There's no doubt about that. He can churn out NFL players. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
I just don't think they have anything at all dynamic on offense.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at it, Pat Narduzzi's entering his 11th season at Pitt. Now, hey, 2021, you had your ACC championship season, all well and good. But the last 2 years have been bad. They have been
going downhill.
Successful. Yeah. Not been successful. Steven Adams played for the Pittsburgh Panthers. Yep, he did.
They recruited him on when they played that goofy tournament, the CBI College Basketball Invitational Tournament. When they were down, that's why they got him because he's a New Zealander.
Yeah, but like I said, Narduzzi's under his 11th season. Like I said, last 2 years you got a combined record of 10 and 15, my man.
Not very good.
Yeah, Narduzzi, is he on the hot seat? Yeah, I think he is.
They don't have any money, Billy. That's the other thing. They have no money for NIL. And if you're not in the NIL game, it's just it's the haves and have-nots right now.
Yeah,
Pitt just does not have any money NIL wise.
Yeah, I just think when I look at this team, this is a pivotal one. This is a very pivotal one. I mean, you do have some talent there. You got some guys returning like Eli Holstein, Desmond Reed, Kyle Lewis. You got some guys returning, okay? And there's been some additions made through the transfer portal. But I tell you what, look at that schedule. You got a chance. We went through that schedule last time.
Not a lot of wins for Billy.
You got a challenging schedule, and the recent struggles in the last few years. I tell you what, there's an element of uncertainty right now that you're looking at.
Huge.
And I will say this too. Like Holstein, but he needs to develop in a more consistent quarterback. He needs to stay healthy. He needs to be able to win those close games, and he exceed those expectations, and achieve a winning record. Because right now they haven't done that. And is bowl eligibility a reasonable expectation? I don't know. I don't think, Ed. I'm with you.
It is because of the fact that.
Well, you said 4 or 5 wins.
Yeah, but I'm saying to your point about bowl eligibility, is that a measuring stick that you're trying to reach? Yeah, you get money and you get more.
Okay.
From that standpoint, yeah.
I'll give you from that
but
standpoint.
Are they going to be bowl eligible this year? No.
I mean, it's a reasonable expectation, but anything beyond that would be a miracle. Okay,
right.
It'd be it's a very difficult
look
schedule.
at the team. They've got to play Notre Dame. Notre Dame's investing almost $30 million in their football team.
Right.
What's Pitt's investment? $1 million?
Yeah.
I don't even know because they haven't released it.
Yeah, I don't know. So,
just not a priority.
All right, let's close it out here, gentlemen. Riverhounds. What do you think, Ed? I mean,
it's the middle stretch that they have most of their home games. He wanted to be where he was. They're performing much more consistently, and they're getting wins and draws and no losses. So,
right,
the arrow is
Detroit. That was a big draw. I mean, it was a boring game to watch. I wrote the story on it.
On the road, man, you get a win on the road.
But you got to draw. You got points, and that helps. Now you got to Portland. Portland Heart of Pines is who they're facing next.
Well, that's the Jägermeister. We're not even covering that. We're not even going to look at it. We're going to turn it off. We're going to hold hands and talk about Come By You.
Yeah. So I
mean, look where they sit right now in the East. They're 22 points. They're sitting at 5th in the East. I mean, you're 4 points away. I mean, nobody's catching Charleston battery.
Yeah.
But you could catch Loudon and get up to 3. It's only
those of you who don't know, Ed and I for Stream Punk Entertainment, we cover the Riverhounds. We're one of their beat writers. And last home game. I had an interesting right before Detroit. I had it. We were doing the coaches post game show, and I had a very interesting question for Bob Lilly, and he expounded on it for about 15 minutes. So I know it was a pretty good question. But I asked him. I said, "Hey, Bob, listen, you've had some issues with Detroit. The beginning game, you lost up there 1-0. But in June you were able to beat them 2-0 at home. Granted, it was home, but did you have any confidence going into this game that, hey, we're a better team?" And he was like, "Well, it's remains to be seen. We got to go up there and take care of business." And he went on how yes, that win in June was at home. But, they got to take care of business on the road. I mean, it would have been nice to get a win, but a draw, you still get points. And, they went up there and got a draw and still got points. So they're still treading water. Let's put it that way. But yeah, so. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens here. I know they're coming back home after that game, so we'll be down there covering that and look for that. So, but all right, gentlemen. Anything else I missed? Anything else you want to cover?
Passion lost the championship game by 1 point. They led 3 quarters, and in the fourth quarter, they ended up losing by a point.
That was like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to report it last week
because you were out.
Okay.
Yeah,
because you were singing praises about scheduling your next appointment or something. I don't know what you were saying.
Okay. He wants to know SG thoughts on Crosby and Evgeny Malkin.
They're old.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Crosby's still playing at a high level. Evgeny Malkin is just he's kind of in
Russian.
He's in quicksand at this point in time. He just doesn't have it anymore. I think it's going to be his last season. I think it probably should have been his last season last year.
He goes back home to Russia, and he and Ovechkin play for another couple of years, guaranteed.
Probably make a lot of money, but I don't think it's for here. I don't think they can. I don't think they
go to the AHL and they have
level.
Fun.
Well, I'm going to say this: Dan Muse was not hired for Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and Crystal Tang. He's your Rutger McGroarty's, guys like that. That's who he was hired for. So, and then
Scott Kobe wants to know the schedule. Man, you missed it.
Yeah, I mean
the first 45 minutes, but yeah, their schedule is not that tough. They're in the bottom half of the toughness.
Yeah,
strength of schedule.
Not considering what they had last year. Last year was a lot tougher. They're a lot easier this year, Scott, for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right, that does it. We'll be back next week, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We may have a guest next week. We might try to get maybe Ray in the show. I don't know how busy he is, but I know he's busy. Let me walk that back. I know he's busy.
He's in the middle of camp.
Yeah,
SGA's going to the Penguins game, I guess, in San Jose. He's turning 30. Oh my God, he's not even 30 yet. Holy Lord, we're old.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody. Well, I think that about does it. Like I said, we'll be back next week, and hope you enjoyed it.
See you later.
Talk to you
later. Au revoir.
Yeah.